Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 13th June 2018. The first issue in news is regarding the controversy over organ transplants in the state of Tamil Nadu. Chennai is known for its health infrastructure and is also termed as the health capital of India due to its potential in promoting health tourism and the ecosystem it offers for various health interventions. Among this, transplantation of human organs like the kidney, liver, heart, etc. is one of the services offered, and the state governments, which have the responsibility for healthcare, are expected to ensure that the organs, which are altruistically donated by the families of the brain dead people, are given to the rightful recipients ethically as mandated by the law. And in this regard, the transplantation of human organs and tissue rules clearly states that priority should be given to the citizens enrolled in the state and national waiting lists over the foreign nationals. The recent controversy is regarding the implementation of this rule, where according to a report, it was found that in 2017, foreigners accounted for 25% of the heart and 33% of the lung transplants, thereby showing that preferential allotment of these organs have been made to foreign patients in Tamil Nadu. In this regard, an inquiry should be launched to find out whether the registered citizens were overlooked in order to allocate organs for the foreigners, and the inquiry should also cover issues such as the capacity of the district level hospitals to perform transplants and arrange for the necessary logistics like the airlift of organs, since domestic patients may be unable to afford such facilities. Also, every effort should be made to ensure that organs go to the most suitable recipients according to the rule-based parameters of domicile, citizenship, Indian origin, and foreign nationality in the particular order of preference set by the rules. And nothing should be done to erode the confidence of the relatives of the brain dead people who donate organs with no expectation of gain, while at the same time removing hospitals and professionals who engage in commercial or unethical behavior. On that note, let's move on to the next issue. The next issue in news is regarding the several questions raised by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance to the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Mr. Arjit Patel. The most important question raised by the committee was with respect to the PNB fraud, for which the Governor blamed the failure of the three lines of defense in the banking system in dealing with the letters of undertaking, which, as you know, was the primary tool used for embezzlement of funds in the PNB scam. The Reserve Bank of India has said that it was the primary responsibility of the PNB board to understand the risk of instruments like the LOUs which have no collateral attached. Also, it said that each bank should have three lines of defense, namely the officer sanctioning the loan, the second at the managerial level, and finally the internal audit, all three which have failed to detect the PNB fraud. Further, the RBI has been long seeking the powers to monitor the public sector banks with respect to removal and appointment of the director, the grant of licenses, and imposing conditions while giving them provisions for superseding the board of directors of the bank and powers to make applications for winding up of banks. These issues have to be further looked into, and we'll discuss this in detail in the days to come. Till then, let's look into the next issue, which is regarding ISRO offering its battery technology to qualified companies and startups. These companies can use ISRO's power storage technology to produce a range of lithium ion cells for many purposes, mainly for electric vehicles. This is in line with the government's plan to achieve 100% electric vehicles in the country by 2030 and will go a long way in boosting indigenous production of lithium ion batteries, because currently the batteries are imported from China, South Korea, and Taiwan, thereby increasing their cost. There are several advantages of lithium ion batteries, like they charge faster, they discharge slower, and they have zero maintenance issues as compared to the traditional battery technology. Therefore, it is in line with the government's vision of electric mobility and the FAME scheme, which was rolled out for the faster adoption of electric vehicles. On that note, Let's move on to the next issue, which is an editorial regarding the historic summit between the US President and his North Korean counterpart. The meeting was historic as the two sides agreed to move towards complete denuclearization while the US promised to stop the military exercises with South Korea. The outcomes of the summit is the affirmation of the power of diplomacy, which gathered momentum with the new South Korean president's outreach to the North Korean leader and the reciprocal gesture of North Korea by sending its athletes to the Winter Olympics held in South Korea in February. As the relationship between the two Koreas improved rapidly, the US president accepted the invitation for talks with the North Korean leader, but it was not certain whether the meeting would take place given the threats and counter threats issued by both the sides. Therefore, the summit meeting itself is a big success, but it is too early to say whether it will result in long lasting peace in the Korean peninsula because there are no deadlines mentioned or how North Korea plans for complete denuclearization. Also, there is no reference to China, which is North Korea's only ally. Therefore, it remains to be seen how the two sides can further build on the recent rapprochement between the two, but the bold beginning must not be wasted. The final issue in news today is regarding the sporadic cases of mosquito-borne diseases like dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, and malaria cases reported from Kerala. This follows the Nipah outbreak, which the health department has claimed to have contained. The dengue cases have been reported frequently from hilly areas ever since the district started getting the summer showers, and it remains to be seen how effectively the Kerala state can handle the recent outbreaks, which was recently troubled by the Nipah virus. On that note, I call it a wrap on today's news analysis. Do share this content if you like it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.